The unfortunate crashing of Tara Air flight in Mustang on Sunday has once again raised safety issues of the Himalayan nation's aviation sector. Even as ICAO, the International Umbrella Organization of Civil Aviation Authority, is yet to lift the blacklisted tag imposed on Nepali sky, the latest incident surely is a dampener on the country's efforts towards lifting the tag. Good morning, I am Bipashna Tamang, and these are the headlines of the hour. Ideological discussions on next fiscal year's budget begins. Main opposition criticizes the budget. Ruling alliance parliamentarians furnish defense. Debates escalate regarding jurisdiction of Supreme Court following its verdict on Nisgad Airport. Government proceeds with the mega project regardless. The Chinese city of Shanghai, a global trade hub, eases COVID curbs after a 2-month lockdown. Restrictions relaxed in a city of 25 million people. And Rafael Nadal team top seed Novak Djokovic to storm into the semi-finals of the French Open. Sets up clash against Alexander Zverev. On the first day of discussions on the budget for the upcoming fiscal year presented by the government, ruling and opposition parliamentarians spent most of their time making allegations against each other. The parties, who should have evaluated several aspects of the budget to solve existing problems of public concern and ensure economic growth, have instead dented the parliament dignity with blame games. Deliberations on the budget for the coming fiscal year have begun at the House of Representatives. However, instead of assessing different aspects of the budget to ensure economic growth, parliamentarians of ruling and opposition parties have spent most of their time making allegations against each other. CPN-UML parliamentarians alleged the government of presenting an ambitious and pro-election budget. Prior to this, UML chairperson KP Sharma Oli on Monday had directed his parliamentarians to dissect the budget and identify the loopholes. However, the ruling parliamentarians did not seem to agree with the opposition, stating that the budget was focused on manufacturing and production. They claimed that the budget aimed to transform the agriculture sector. Analysts have been maintaining that at a time when the nation is going through a difficult economic phase, it is imperative for the parliamentarians to play their part in addressing issues of increasing unemployment, brain drain, inflation, and increasing import, among other issues. Debates have resurfaced over the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court verdict to stop construction of Nisgad International Airport. In addition to scrapping all previous decisions made by the executive for construction of the airport, the Apex Court has also directed for finding an alternative to the airport. Terming the verdict against national development aspirations, the executive and legislative have alleged the judiciary of clashing with the decisions of the executive. In the meantime, the government has ignored the Supreme Court verdict to stop construction works of the Nisgad International Airport. The government has included the mega project in the budget for the coming fiscal year and assured of moving ahead with construction works of the international airport. Meanwhile, the International Relations Committee of the House of Representatives has also directed the government to expedite the construction works of the Nisgad Airport in Bara district. The Supreme Court verdict has led to a united call from the executive and the legislative while increasing their rift with the judiciary. Parliamentarians of both the ruling and opposition parties have also voiced against the verdict of the Supreme Court and have urged the government to proceed with the construction works. The government has formed a special committee to investigate the recent Tara aircraft mishap that claimed the lives of 22 people on board, including the flight crew and some foreign nationals. In this report, we'll look at the history of air crashes in Nepal in its 68-year-long aviation history so far.
Nepal has some of the most risky airports in the world, with many accidents occurring each year. 84 airplane mishaps have been recorded so far in its 68 years aviation history. The first such incident was reported in 1955 when an airplane belonging to Kalinga Air crashed in Simara Airport, claiming the lives of 2 individuals. 14 years later, an airplane of Nepal Airlines crashed in Batase Dara, claiming the lives of 35 people. A year later, another aircraft of Nepal Airlines met with an accident in Delhi, taking the life of 1 person. Likewise, 6 other people died in another airplane accident in Langtang in 1979. 6 years later, in 1985, 25 people on board a Nepal Army airplane died in another accident. 18 others died in 1992 Everest Air mishap in Singapore, and 15 more in Kathmandu's Ramkot as an airplane of Nikon Air met with an accident. Another ill-fated Nepal Airlines aircraft crashed in Dadaldura, taking the lives of 25. 19 others died 6 years later in another Nepal Airlines crash in Lukla. Likewise, a Buddha Airways airplane crashed in Lalitpur in 2011, where 19 individuals on board died. A year later, an aircraft belonging to Sita Air crashed in Bhaktapur, taking the lives of 19. The largest death toll yet was in 2018, when an aircraft of Bangla Air crash-landed, taking the lives of 51. In 2019, 3 individuals died as an aircraft of Summit Air met with an accident in Lukla's runway. The Tara Air incident that took the lives of 22 people on board is the latest in the aviation mishaps in the country.
Following the death of all 22 passengers and crew members on board the ill-fated Tara aircraft, the Civil Aviation Authority of Nepal has decided not to issue flight permits to places with poor and adverse weather conditions without proper assessment. According to CAN Director General Pradeep Raj Adhikari, flight permits are to be issued only after assessing the weather conditions in the flight route. The CAN has suspected adverse weather condition as the cause of the crash of the ill-fated Tara aircraft. Time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
And here's the question: what should be done to curb inflation? The options: option A, decrease tax; option B, increase production; and option C, intensify monitoring. The voting is on. Type any WS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. In our Public Voice segment, we had asked the local residents in several provinces regarding what they think should be done to reduce the risks of natural disasters. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
Public Voice.
आपतकालीन कोषहरु राख्नु पर्यो,
सबै जनतालाई जानकारी दिनु पर्यो।
हामी नै सचेत त हुन्छौं,
काम चाहिँ राज्यले गर्नु पर्ला जस्तो लाग्छ।
जनचेतनाहरु जगाएर
बेलैमा सचेत र सजग हुनु।
Time now for sports news.
Sports news.
Schedule of the series between Nepal, Scotland and Namibia under the ICC World Cricket League 2 has been made public. It will be Nepal's 5th series under the League 2 tournament. The series will be held in Scotland from the mid of July. Nepal will take on Namibia in their first match of the series on the 10th of July, followed by a clash against host Scotland 2 days later. Nepal will play Namibia again on the 16th of July and wrap the series with a match against Scotland on the 17th of July. Team Nepal are currently in the United States of America to compete in their 4th series under the League 2 tournament. Top 3 teams in the League 2 tournament will secure the berth in the ICC World Cup 2023 global qualifiers, while the remaining 4 teams will have to compete in their playoffs for the qualifiers. That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.